America, land of the home and free of the... Wait, no, that's not how it goes. America, land of the free and home of the brave. You'd think a country like... You'd think a country like the US, who has been around for almost 250 years, would have a lot of history crammed in there, right? Right? Well, that's what we're going to find out today, because we're going to be reacting to Country Balls History of the United States Part 1. Don't worry, Part 2 is going to come soon. Let's not waste any time. Let's just get into this. Let's do this. Alright, so this is like the Indians setting up camp, because they were there first. And... oh, that's Christopher Columbus in 1492. He thought he reached Asia and reached Japan and the Philippines, but no, this is actually like the Caribbean. And then smallpox, and all those viruses infect the Indians who can't take it and die. New continent, the French and English and the Dutch say, and they're going to fight for it. That's France, and they're going to set up a territory called New France. How original. New France, New England, New Netherlands, yeah. Oh, I think here's when the English try to take New Amsterdam, and they do, and then it becomes New York. We all know New York, right? Bunch of stuff happens next, and then there's some disputed land right there in between the English and the French. And French say, "Hey UK, can we build some forts along here?" And the British said, "Hey, sorry, but can you like not?" And then the French said, "No, sorry, we cannot not." And then they went ahead and built their forts, and that kind of made the English mad, which eventually leads to this, which is the 7 Years' War. It's basically like a world war, but they didn't call it a world war. And the French lost. The Spanish and the English break up the territories of France in between themselves. No more France there. The 13 colonies become a thing. Judging. Let's see what this is. Oh, I think it's yeah. The UK has no more money because of the 7 Years' War, so they need a way to get money, which the Stamp Act and the stamp tax and the sugar tax. They're gonna send taxes to the colonies. Is what I'm saying. Yeah, us Americans don't. We hate taxes. I mean, we pay our taxes now. And the UK, they're like, no more British, no more British. Oh, this is a reference to the Boston Massacre from 1770. So there was this British officer just minding his own business, I think. The Americans, they hated the British, and especially the officers. They started hurling insults at the officer, and then they started throwing snow. The snow turned into oyster shells, and the oyster shells into rocks. And the reinforcements came, and no one told them to shoot, but the British ended up shooting, and they killed 5 people. Very sad. Oh, this is the Boston Tea Party. A couple of Americans dressed up as Indians, and they threw a bunch of tea into the ocean because there was now a tax on tea. There was a tax on everything, and the British were horrified. This was in 1773. The British were like, "No, not the tea." They're mad. They're mad pissed. Okay, they send reinforcements into Boston to try to take control of the city. And then the fighting starts happening. Yeah. And then more Americans come and they drive the British out of Boston. Well, first they throw a bunch of things at the British. Yeah. Then they leave Boston. The Second Continental Congress. I'm pretty sure there was a first one and the second. The second was more important because that's when they did the Declaration of Independence and everything. This is Thomas Jefferson, and he sat down to write the Declaration of Independence. It took him like 2 to 3 weeks, I think. This was July 2nd, and then July 4th was when they officially ratified it. Then they became the United States of America. Judging. I'm so sorry. Then the British and the French and the Spanish see that the Americans are doing great, and they say, "Hey, need help? We want to help." And he gave them arms and stuff, like these arms, like these things. Oh, the British come to New York and Philadelphia, and they take it over. Then the French and Spanish help the Americans, and then they drive back the British again. to Yorktown. Oh, there's the British. And boom, go the cannonballs. And then they officially become like the U.S. and there's no more war. Yay! A bunch of more stuff happened, but yeah, we didn't have time to talk about all that. Treaty of Paris. The U.K. agrees to give America their independence. USA gets free. Yeah, awesome. Constitution. Yeah, the Constitution wasn't written until 1787. We the people. Oh, here's when the U.S. buys the Louisiana territory. Here's a map of all that. Yeah, the U.S. basically doubled in size, but they didn't know what's out there. The French needed money because they were in war with like the UK and stuff. Oh, oh, the Indians are mad about the Americans being there, and then the British say, "Hey, need some help, old chap?" And that's how the War of 1812 started. And the U.S. attacks, and then stuff happens. Oof. Yeah, the Indians did not have it easy back then. They have it a bit more easier now, I guess. Oh, this is when the British come to Washington D.C. and they burned the White House. Yep, but we managed to fix it. Everyone's fine. No one died. I think. I learned about this recently. They eventually called it a draw, but the Americans probably pretty much won because the British didn't try to take over the U.S. again. And then the Indians are all sad. Oh, that's not good. Oh, this is the famous Oregon Territory. The U.S. and the U.K. both claimed it as theirs. Yeah. Oregon's mine. No, it's mine. Joint occupation of Oregon. Oh yeah, I think yeah, the U.S. buys Florida, which is where I live. Oh yeah, they use a ruler. Straight line, straight line. That's what they end up doing. Yeah, more straight lines. Oh right, the Mexicans. And then Texas wants independence as well. And then Texas joins the U.S. Texas was actually a republic for 12 years until it was in debt and needed help from the U.S. And Mexico got mad at the U.S. for taking Texas. And yeah, that's how the Mexican-American War started. The U.S. took all of that. Big W. They didn't take that though. Please, we surrender. And then yeah, the end of the Mexican-American War. Yeah, Mexico lost a bunch of territory, like almost half of their empire. Yeah, but they're missing one piece, which is that the Gadsden Purchase. It's a little territory there. I don't know why they bought it for, but they just did. Oh, the North with all the factories and stuff. California, Pennsylvania. Oh, look, it's Ohio. As you guys might remember, the Ohio flag looks like this. It's kind of weird. That's why in the Country Ball universe it's drawn like a weird creature. Why is Ohio like that? And it's the South with their cotton stuff and slavery, which is not good. Not good. Then President Abraham Lincoln, my favorite president, is like, hey, I cannot allow slavery to spread any further. But the South took it as, he wants to end slavery in the South. If we have no voice in the Union, we won't stay in it. Without slavery, our economy dies. We're out. South Carolina first declared independence, followed by other 6 states. How many? Yeah, no, 7. My bad. Oh, and then the CSA. This fort belongs to us. We're our own country now. The CSA wanted that fort that was right along their border, and they shot cannonballs at it. And the Americans there were like, okay, fine, we'll give you the fort. And the CSA thought, like the Confederates thought, we won the war. Yes. They didn't win the war. The war had just begun. Had only just begun. Then more slaves ended up leaving. Okay. Alright. Oof. It's a bit graphic. I'm realizing that. Virginia. And some counties in Virginia didn't want to be part of the Confederates. So I said, you know what? We're going to do our own thing. We're going to go join back to the Union. I'm joining the Union! Yep. The naval blockade. See, the Confederates wanted to sell cotton to the British, and they ended up doing that until the US said, no more, you can't do that anymore, because we want to take you over and stuff. They surrounded the whole place. It's kind of like a snake. That's why they had the snake there. In Kentucky, yeah, the Confederates wanted to take Kentucky, but that didn't work. I'm allowed to say Confederates, right? Yeah. They ended up taking, and the Americans ended up taking Tennessee. Now they're gonna go down the Mississippi River and try to split the Confederates in two. Oof. Yeah. Yeah, and they split two parts, east and west. Oh, the African Americans ended up enlisting in the army. I read a book about that recently. The concerning thing is that the Confederates literally bordered Washington. Like, you can see from Washington, D.C. to the Confederates. That's kind of concerning. They ended up going all the way to Pennsylvania, and the Battle of Gettysburg is coming soon. Alright. Oh, new flag. Yeah. Ooh. That doesn't look great. Yeah, there were a lot of wounded there. Why are you smoking while you're... Oh my god, okay. Yeah, and then the Confederates. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they're taking massive blows here. And then they pushed them back. A lot of people died that day. Way too many. There shouldn't even have been a war in the first place. No one should have died. Oh, they're gonna split the Confederates in another part again. Now there's 3. And they take Richmond, and Richmond was the capital of the CSA, and they end up taking the whole thing. The Union is back in town. Everyone's like, we're not doing this, we're going back to the Union. And they get bigger, bigger, and bigger. I want to see them get way bigger when Texas joined. 13th Amendment. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude shall exist within the United States. Okay, so no more slavery, basically. 14th Amendment. All persons born or naturalized in the United States are citizens. Okay. Well, Trump did something about that. If you're the son or daughter of an immigrant, you can't. That doesn't apply to you now. 15th Amendment. The right to vote shall not be denied on account of race, color, or previous condition of servitude. Yeah, so African Americans or any race can vote now in the U.S. But primarily the African American thing. The African Americans are like, we're not doing this anymore. We're being free. I don't know. U.S. citizenship. All right. I like their little beanie. Oh, this is when the U.S. bought Russia and Alaska, and that was the best deal in history. They sold it for 2 cents an acre, and an acre is, I forgot how much meters or miles or kilometers or whatever. I'll put it here, but yeah, it was the best deal for the Americans. For the Russians, it was not that good of a deal, but it turned into a worse deal when the U.S. found oil and gold in Alaska. Bad move by the Russians. Awesome. Alaska, listen. Railroads. Awesome. Oh, and the U.S. takes Hawaii and stuff. What was that? Take the crown. You're not a kingdom anymore. You're U.S. Alright, well, that was interesting. Like I said, I will definitely be reacting to part 2 soon, probably next week. But I hope this video helped you guys learn something new. And if you did, smash that like button and hit that subscribe button. Alright, let me know if you guys like these kind of like country ball related videos, and I actually think I may do them in the future. Alright, God bless America.